Channel 3 News with Shay Gaddam.
Good evening. We came dangerously close to recording the first death directly linked to this week's storm cleanup today. 26-year-old Andre Werner was completely buried under a full dump truck load of snow.
Glad that he's alive. I am. That's the reward in itself.
Andy Besserer, a foreman with the city's streets department, is credited with saving Werner's life. Werner was trying to clean out his dump truck's tailgate when the load let go and buried him for close to 10 minutes. Police say if he wasn't rescued when he was, he surely would have died. Besserer, who was in the area, saw the man's hand sticking out from under the pile of snow. He dug him out and called for help.
Well, this is where he was. This is his head, where his head was, his chest, and his one arm had to be inside this cavity up here. And there was only, like just the hand sticking up. You can see where his 2 feet were. He was encased in lots of snow.
The victim, Andre Werner, was taken to hospital and treated for mild hypothermia and a cut to his ear. He has since been released. Police are issuing another warning to women tonight. Stay alert in parkades. The message comes after a 21-year-old woman was attacked in the 1800 block of 16th Street Southwest last night. After parking her car in an underground parkade below her apartment building, she was headed up a flight of stairs to the lobby when the assailant grabbed her from behind. He punched her, threatened her, and demanded sexual favors. He was frightened off when another man happened by. Tonight, police are searching for a man approximately 28 years old, weighing 155 pounds and standing 6'1". He has an untrimmed red beard and short reddish-brown hair. He was wearing a faded green baseball cap with a brown leather peak and an Aztec-style wool coat in shades of gray and brown.
It doesn't matter whether it's a vehicle, a parkade, or a building. Look around before you enter, know your surroundings, and perhaps probably the big tip I would suggest is whenever you go anywhere, have some kind of escape plan.
The victim was not seriously injured. Police believe the offender followed the victim's car down the alley and then into the parkade before the door closed. A huge crowd filled St. Mary's Cathedral tonight to take in the installation ceremony for the new bishop of Calgary's Roman Catholic Diocese.
By the help of his prayers, may your church continue to serve its Lord, Jesus Christ.
Fred Henry has taken over control of Calgary's Catholic Church. The position of bishop is one of the most powerful in the city. Henry will carry a great deal of moral authority among thousands of Calgarians. Some of the faces in tonight's crowd displayed the respect the bishop has. Several bishops from across Canada were on hand, as was Lieutenant Governor Bud Olson. Bishop Henry has several issues to address in his new position, and he's already started doing so.
We have, certainly short term, been relying very heavily upon outsiders to meet our pastoral needs, obviously because we haven't got as many priestly candidates as I think we probably all would like. I think there are 9 current seminarians that we have for the diocese.
The bishop comes to Calgary from London, Ontario. A good deal of melting today as we climbed above the freezing mark. The warming will definitely help with the cleanup, which made this storm not only inconvenient, but very expensive as well. The Chamber of Commerce is reporting several businesses were forced to close for at least one day this week thanks to the storm. It says the storm had roughly the same economic impact as that of a statutory holiday. But the effects of the paralyzing storm aren't all negative. In fact, for some people it was a blessing. Snow movers like this one have been going 24 hours a day since the record-setting snowfall on Tuesday, and hardware stores have been swamped with people rushing in to buy snow shovels, snow blowers, and winter tires.
The time when we do our seasonal changeover by the 1st of April, we're ready for summer, and we basically right now are ready for summer. So when the snow came, it was panic stations. We had to come in, unearth all the shovels, get out all the winter stuff, which was packed away in the warehouse. So we brought it all out and loaded it up at the front of the store, and we didn't put anything away.
The final cost of the cleanup to the city has yet to be totaled. We should get that figure sometime next week. Well, Monday night's heavy snowfall came at the wrong time for some Alberta ranchers. Cows and calves were cold and wet for the first few days, but warmer temperatures and this sunshine have turned the last couple of days into almost ideal calving conditions.
Yeah, I didn't have any calves Monday or Tuesday.
Jumping Pound rancher Jim Bateman plowed his pasture first thing Tuesday morning, and it was just in time. 3 calves arrived yesterday afternoon and another one near midnight. The This little guy came into the world at 1 o'clock this afternoon and took its first wobbly steps. Bateman says he's always amazed at how animals are able to cope with severe weather.
Well, this storm here, you know, being wet and it wasn't that cold, eh? So generally, you know, they'll calve. Even if they calve in the snow, lots of times they'll, you know, cows get them licked off and they get up and get a suck, then they're away.
Other southern Alberta ranchers who have scheduled their calving for the end of March are hoping that Monday's snowstorm was the last one of the winter.
You're watching Channel 3 News.
Support workers at 7 Edmonton area hospitals are planning to walk off the job tomorrow morning. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees served strike notice early today, and then they started working on their picket signs. 5,000 cooks, cleaners, and other support staff are affected. Some will stay on the job to help provide emergency service, but this strike may not be a long one. Labor Minister Murray Smith has said that any strike would be dealt with very quickly. The dispute is over wages, severance, and contracting out. And while the government is trying to put out that fire, they appear to have made some ground on another front. Lawyers for the people who are demanding compensation after being sterilized by the government say they're on the verge of an out-of-court settlement.
Our government will not be proceeding further with Bill 26.
John Havelock, the province's justice minister, made an abrupt face last night, abandoning his plan to limit compensation to $150,000 each. Havelock had intended to use the notwithstanding clause of the Constitution to crush the victims' legal rights. Now, lawyers for the victims say they're willing to settle the matter out of court and accept close to $150,000 for each client. A Calgary lawyer says the province was not only unfair to take away his client's ability to have children, but it was also wrong to place them in a mental institution.
Some of our clients were simply experiencing behavioral problems, and that's all it took. I mean, they were wrong to be placed in the institution, and it was wrong for them to be sterilized.
Close to 2,000 residents of medical institutions were sterilized by the province. About 700 of them are still alive. A reminder tonight, the Farm Safety Program is trying to stress the importance of safety. Farm-related incidents are one of the biggest killers of rural Albertans. Debbie Nielsen lost her father in a tractor rollover back in 1995. Now she's speaking out about farm safety as the honorary chair of National Farm Safety Week. The Farm Safety Program was established in 1976 to monitor farm injuries and deaths and try to prevent them. In 1996, 21 Albertans died in farm-related accidents, and in 1997, the profession claimed 17 lives. Farm machinery and livestock are the top 2 killers of farmers and their family members. One of the only ways to prevent these kinds of tragedies is to make sure farmers take the time to be aware of their surroundings.
Things can happen so fast as any accident. And especially in the farm situation, there's so much big equipment and so much happening so fast, especially at seeding and harvest time. Those are the worst times for accidents and fatalities.
Males aged 35 to 44 report the highest number of farm injuries and deaths. If you're having trouble affording dental care, you need to know that this weekend is the annual Open Wide campaign in Alberta. It's your chance to get a dental appointment for free. There's room for 140 patients for the clinic in Calgary this Saturday. You can call ahead with Jenny at the Salvation Army at 220-0432 to book an appointment. If you live in the High River area, you can phone 652-2195. They're accepting 55 patients there. Again, that's the Open Wide campaign this Saturday, March 21st. Alberta dentists are donating their time and services. Well, still to come tonight, Canada's first gold medal winner at the 98 Games was here in Calgary today, and hundreds of people showed up to meet Ross Rebliati. I'll have that story right after the break. Snowboarding is extremely popular in these parts, and the newly crowned King of the Hill was in town today. Fans lined up for hours in a Calgary mall waiting to see Olympic snowboarding champion Ross Rebliati. Shortly after winning his gold medal, Rebliati tested positive for marijuana, and the IOC yanked the medal. But the Canadian Olympic Association quickly appealed. They got the medal back, and Ross returned home a controversial hero. Bill McFarland reports.
They lined up in the mall, young and old, waited, some for hours, to see their Olympic hero.
So we were here at 9, and then we've been here since then.
She dragged me here. Yeah, I love the guy.
And what are you going to say to him when you see him?
I probably won't be able to say anything. I'll probably need an ambulance.
I'm meeting Ross. Why? Why not? He's got a medal and all the publicity on him.
Please welcome Ross Rebagliati.
Ross Rebagliati burst onto the world stage after temporarily losing his Olympic gold snowboarding medal after testing positive for marijuana.
And I was just like, holy smokes, this isn't good. And
holy smokes?
Yeah.
He didn't inhale, right? That's what he said.
What's the message, though? Is the message sort of saying that smoking dope is cool?
No.
Rebagliati, on a North American tour marketing Roots clothing, is denying he is publicly endorsing the use of smoke dope, but the Olympic champion is falling short of condemning it to his young fans.
It's up to them. I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm not going to tell them what to do, but they need to realize that there are consequences.
Grandmother Della Patrician got a close-up look at the gold medal. She gave the Olympic star a loving pat on the chin. Della agrees drug use is a personal decision, but wishes Ross would come out more against it.
Yeah, and I think he should have said, it's up to the individual, but I do hope that younger children wouldn't follow what I've just gone through.
Rebagliati's 10-day North American tour is generating Ross mania everywhere he appears. Bill McFarland, Channel 3 News.
Canada Olympic Park is playing host to Snowcross 98 this weekend, and organizers are expecting hundreds of snowmobile racers to attend. But before the pros got to the course, COP thought it might be a good idea to let the media take a few test runs. I took a few trips along with my trusty colleague, Michelle Gaze.
All in good spirits.
You've got an attitude problem.
I don't have an attitude problem. He's just a little chicken to me, I think.
You have a huge attitude problem.
We'll just see out on the track.
Now, Michelle did all right in the first few runs, but she got a little cocky, and in the end, she got in way over her head. She managed to drive a racing machine right off the course, flying at least 10 feet in the air before crashing it to the ground and flipping it. We caught up with her a little later in the first aid room.
Before you knew it, I was flying, and then my days in gymnastics came back to me, doing back tucks and that. And you know what's amazing? I jumped right up, the mobiles flipped, and then I landed right on my seat. And the only thing that hurt was my toe.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Michelle will live to race another day, but she's going to lose the nail on her big toe. Again, the real reason we were there today was to promote the upcoming Snowcross down at COP. It will get underway on Saturday, and the weather should be just great for it. Lots of nice fresh snow on the ground, but temperatures will be just right for racing. There may even be some new flurries on the way. David Spence will have his forecast next. David's been sent now for a look at weather, and how is it?
It's going to get foggy if it hasn't done so already in your part of southern Alberta. We've got fog patches forming again tonight, much as they did last night, and they'll continue on until the morning. Let's check outside at the situation with the Channel 3 Skyview camera, take a look at the current conditions. And we are in for a day tomorrow, a little similar to what it was today, however, a bit cooler as well. We hit a high of 4 degrees today. We'll probably reach 2 tomorrow because the wind will shift a little bit and come out of the southeast in the latter part of the day. So the temperature will rise to about 2, the wind shifts and holds it there. That's basically the scenario for tomorrow. This cloud coming across from British Columbia is veering off to the south. What we're getting from the northwest is high thin cloud and is not a great cause of concern. It's this northwesterly flow that's setting itself up, bringing air in from the Queen Charlotte Island region into southern Alberta. It's warm Pacific air, but it's the kind of air mass that you can't really cool off too much or the fog really starts to settle in. 4 degrees will be the high temperature in northern Alberta tomorrow with a partly sunny sky. Then into Edmonton and Red Deer, similar forecast, -6 tonight and +4 tomorrow. And for the south, we've got the fog in the morning, sunshine by the afternoon, a high of -1. Banff and Jasper up to 2 degrees with some snow flurries, and those flurries will continue into the weekend as well. And for the East Kootenays up to 11 with a mix of sun and cloud. Here we go with the 4-day forecast, 2 degrees tomorrow. Got some flurries backing into the region on Saturday, but they'll be out by Sunday, and our temperatures will recover starting on Monday and then really get into the mid-single digits in the middle of the week.
All right, thanks, Dave. Kevin Carius in now with sports, and a big night for the Hitmen. Huge.
Opening night as far as playoffs go. Absolutely. Against the Saskatoon Blades, Game 2, the best of 7. So, wasn't very good for the Hitmen, that's for sure, tonight. First, it was the Centennials, then the Wranglers. Now it's the Hitmen. It's been 13 years since a Calgary-based WHL team hosted a playoff game, and 13 really proved to be unlucky tonight. Game 2, Hitmen and Blades at the Dome. Dean Clark and crew looking for more of the same from Game 1, but Hitmen captain Ryan Shannon trying to get the troops going with the big hit on Nathan Rempel, sending the Blade captain to the ice. Hitmen with a good chance early. Funny bounce, but Sean McCaslin rips one off the crossbar. The Blades will open the scoring. Petalainen, you betcha, in behind the Hitmen defense and beats Alexander Fomachev, and it's 1-0. Second period, Blades held the play. Nathan Rempel had several chances, but Fomachev was solid, including that stop on the breakaway. Hitmen will tie it. Peter Bergman, the quick shot upstairs, beats Jeff Blair, and it's 1-1. Before the second is out, the Blades grab the lead back. It's Petalainen, his second of the game, 2-1 Saskatoon after 2. Third period, Blades pick up a big goal. Rempel, the shot, Fomachev, bad rebound for Garrett Prasovsky, and it's 3-1. The Hitmen didn't have a lot of great scoring chances as the game went on. Boris Prudsenko, nice move, but misses short side. The Blades will put things away with the old ENG, as Prudsenko says, too bad, aw shucks. A little bit of a giveaway, and it's Rempel up to Prasovsky for his second to make it 4-1. That's the final. 4,800 on hand. The Blades even the series. The Hitmen come out flat in their first ever home playoff game.
Up their game in a very opportunistic club and scored on the chances that were presented to them. And in the first 2 periods, we didn't score on ours. And you know, their goaltender made some good saves.
We certainly couldn't lose the first one here. Like, we had a tough game in our opener, and today was a tough game too. Like, it could have gone either way. It wasn't a 4-1 game. They had lots of chances early, and I thought we played a little better in the third and maybe the last half of the second. But either team could have won, and fortunately we won this one.
What was the difference from Game 1?
I think we kept things a lot more simple. We got the puck out our end easier, and got it in deep where they couldn't do a quick transition on us.
We came out when we were in Saskatoon. We came out, and it was our first game ever playing the playoffs, and the guys were ready for it. And tonight we just weren't ready for it. You could tell at the beginning of the game, and just came on from there.
Game 3, Sunday at the Dome. More puck later. This is the time, though, for high school basketball, and the best of the bunch in Calgary this weekend for the 4A boys and girls McDonald's Championships. Action from tonight in girls play. EP Scarlet, well, they're hot. The best team from the city with a big, big win. Annie Walker, 20 points. It'll be Scarlet against Bishop Grandin tomorrow in the semi. 3 of 4 Calgary teams are in the semis. Medicine Hat, the other semifinalist tonight. Teresa Jansen, 40 points. It'll be the Hat up against Winston Churchill in the other game. And earlier, Grandin beat Harry Ainley to advance 71-68. 4A boys, Harry Ainley from Edmonton over Winston Churchill, 66-37. O'Leary is from Edmonton, but couldn't get it done against Raymond. It'll be Raymond up against Lester B. Pearson, the only Calgary team left in the boys tomorrow in the semi. Aberhart knocked out by Myers from Tabor earlier today. One of the busier sports weekends kicking off today. The SO Women's National Championship is on the go. Games today, Calgary Oval Extreme won a pair of contests, 7-1 over Manitoba and 4-0 over Saskatchewan. Alberta's other rep, Edmonton Chimos, beat BC 4-0, but lost tonight to the Quebec team 4-0, the final there. Okay, to the NHL, the Flames keeping an eye on the Hawks and Habs tonight. It looks as if it's either Edmonton or Chicago. The Flames have to catch in order to make the playoffs. The Hawks in 7th, 10 points up on the Flames heading in. Now, before the game, the Hawks retired number 18, Denny Savard, the 5th jersey to be hung from the rafters. If Shea Ganem can name the other 4 by the end of the cast, he wins the big prize tonight. Goaltending duel. Jeff Hackett was hot. Brian Savage on the breakaway. More glass problems. A little spider's web there. Late in the second, as Ganem's writing down frantically. Chad Kilger scores, beating Andy Amoga's second of the year. That's it for the scoring. Hackett to shut out the Hawks, move into 6th place, 1 point ahead of Phoenix. The Leafs a half dozen points back of the 8th place Oilers. Toronto in Beantown tonight. The Buds trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss, but they didn't have a sniff in this one. Steve Hines catches up for the point shot, and it's 1-0 for Boston. Byron Defoe had the big barn door up, big saves, one of them on Mike Johnson. Defoe the shutout, Hines 2 goals. The Bees win 4-0. Ducks in Philly, 2-1 Anaheim. Craig Darby. And it's tied up 2-2, Philly tying it up. Then Philly takes the lead. The rebound for John LeClaire, 3-2. That game ends 3-3. Big point for the Ducks. Avalanche in the desert to play the Coyotes. Jeremy Roenick down low, in and out quickly. The goal went to review, and it ended up counting, so it was 1-0. Then Shane Doan, short side, but the Avs came back to win this one by a score of 4-3. And Buffalo home to Florida. Dominic Hasek, the story again. Buffalo gets the goal shorthanded. Alexei Zhitnik, one of 3 shorthanded goals. Florida gets one by Hasek. Victor Kozlov, 6-1 for the Sabres. The National College Hockey Championship gets underway tomorrow in Sudbury. The Mount Royal Cougars are Alberta's rep. The Hockey Cats will be looking for a second national title for the school, as the men's volleyball squad won Canadians earlier this month. Mount Royal swept State last weekend in 2 games to win the ACAC title, so the Cougars seem to be peaking. The ACAC is generally regarded as the toughest conference in Canada. It's quite a chore to win it, so the Cougars must guard against a letdown at Nationals.
I think, you know, you're always worried about that, you know, the idea that there's been such a big deal made about winning our league, and it's so competitive that after you've done it, you feel like just a huge sag. But this team's pretty focused. We got some kids on here that really want to finish on a real high note, and it's been nice so far, but we're looking for the big prize, no doubt about it.
What we're trying to work on all year is be consistent and play at a level that we can attain, and play that every night. And we've had success in the regular season, and now we've got some breaks in the playoffs, and we won there. So hopefully we can keep the same attitude and hopefully have some success there.
Cougars are one of 3 teams in the tournament. Seneca, which is from North York, and the host Sudbury Club will also try and lay claim to a national championship.
The most important thing is just gel, and with a short tournament, the emphasis is to get a good start in the tournament, and hopefully everything will go well there for us.
We expect them to be good teams, and we've got to, you know, answer the bell. But we've got a lot of confidence. The group is confident and ready to go. And we're in pretty good shape going in. We got some injuries, but that's like everybody else now.
Old Ganem here, smoke coming out of his ears. How about the bids tonight at the annual Chuck Wagon Canvas Auction? A total of $1,869,000 auctioned off, averaging almost 52 grand a canvas. Kelly Sutherland's wagon, the top bid, 130 grand by Serval Corp. Buddy Binsmiller, second highest, 120,000. He'll be in as the Snuff Tennis Copenhagen put up the dough there. And Tom Glass from High River, 107 grand. New York Securities, his sponsor, so almost 1.9 million, a record amount of cash in tonight's auction. And day 1 of Rodeo Royal in the books, Richard Hamilton with an 85 to lead in Bear Bronc. Rod Warren scored 78 in Saddle Bronc. Patrick Cassidy, the cowboy to beat in calf roping. In steer wrestling, Darren Shaw, impressive 3 and 9 to start things off. Bull riding, Clint Ostrom, the day 1 leader. Ladies barrel racing, Don Rude leads the way there. And Ganem just can't get the old Hawks.
Okay,
can you?
I've got 3 that I'm, well,
okay,
2
well,
that I'm
hurry up.
sure of. Stan Makita, I know
How
for
much
sure.
time?
Right?
30 we got. We got 30.
Stan Makita,
okay.
Bobby Hull, and Tony Esposito. That's
so you're not sure on Espo?
I'm not sure on Espo, but he's got it. Tony O's there, right?
Okay, so you got 3 out of 4.
Who's the 4th?
Glenn Hall.
Glenn Hall, I told you some old, I knew it. I knew it was some old guy. But hey, that's pretty good, 3 out of 4. You know, if I was a little older, Glenn Hall would have popped right into the mind there. You couldn't have done it.
Oh, what do you mean? Hawks fan like myself?
Couldn't have done it.
It was in the book.
Trust me, couldn't have done it. We'll see you tomorrow
night.
Oh, we're back.
Your